I am a woman, a goddess. Know that I am fierce. I am dope, and I am a queen.
I ain't that chick.
It's about self-empowerment. It's about self-awareness. It's about self-respect.
Now tell me about your dad, Mr. John Elliott.
Yeah.
Tell me, when I say his name, what comes to mind? What feeling comes to mind?
Well, of course, my chest starts to palpitate a little bit.
Okay. Why?
Because, what we've been through. I'm 31 next month, and what I've been through by that person, what I've been taught by that person, the trades that I've been given by that person, the gifts and the hurt.
Wow.
So there's a lot when you mention his name, when anyone mentions his name, because I know the person that they didn't know, and they know the person that they thought they knew.
Tell us about your dad. So tell us about the man that you knew as dad, the protector, and then there was another side to him.
My father was very dominant, very militant. He was in the Marines, very strict. So that whole going out, staying out with friends, going on dates, getting to, do those things, those vital things as a teenager were not available to me. We got spanked with no clothes on, just his way or no way. We were made to hold books for punishment for hours at a time while he berated us and lectured us.
They were talking about sexual abuse, and it's such a serious issue, and especially amongst our community, because a lot of times we don't talk about stuff. We kind of keep it in, and it's kind of a taboo almost to go get counseling to talk about, this type of thing. To bring it up. It's like a secret that we keep hidden, but you are talking. So I want you to take me back to your first, I almost hate to ask, but your first memory of something not being right with you and your dad. So the first time you have an experience, whatever type of experience it is, and something tells you this is not normal. How old were you and what happened?
I was about 6 years old. My sister and I were standing in my father's bedroom. We were living on Blake Street in New Haven, Connecticut, where I'm from. And I remember he was putting on these bikini cut underwear, and me and my sister, we looked away, and he assured us, you don't have to look away, it's okay. But we looked away because he was getting dressed. He was in the nude.
And where was your mom at?
I can't remember. She was either out somewhere or in another part of the house, but that's what I remember from that moment.
So the abuse started when you were how old?
I was 6.
You were 6 years old. And what's your first memory of your dad actually touching you, if you don't mind sharing?
I was about 9 or 10. I lost my virginity to my father at 10 years old.
At the time, did you know what that meant? Like to lose your virginity is one thing, but then to lose it to your father. Or you didn't lose it, it was taken. Yeah, it was taken from you, it was stolen from you. But
yeah, I knew that he told me that it was going to hurt and that it would be quick and just to lay down and don't make a lot of noise, because I have brothers and sisters still in the house. I was laying on a white sheet. He put down a pad of blankets and a white sheet.
Did you, in your mind, did you say, okay, this is not right? Or when he told you to be quiet, did you want to scream?
I was just crying. I cried very silently. I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want anybody to hear me because I was embarrassed.
So afterwards, if I can ask, afterwards, what does your dad say? I
don't remember. I know I just got up and I walked away and I was bleeding. As he informed me that I would.
But did he console you? Did he try to hug you and say, well, did he try to make it seem like this is a normal something that happens between dads and daughters?
No, but usually he would do this. No, I'm good. Okay. Usually he would do this, to kind of loosen me up and assure me that this is, I'm still daddy's little girl,
Daddy's little girl that daddy was forcing to be his woman at the time. Did the abuse continue often after that, or was it an every now and then thing?
Once the intercourse happened, it was frequently out. Like I was groomed into it up until I was 24. I told my mother at 10, or I told my 2 older brothers that we were now I was 10, they're 3 and 4 years. One's 4 years older than me, the other one's a year older. And I told them that my dad had me perform fellatio on him. They told my mom, and I guess my mom said something to my dad, and he beat me out of my sleep. On into college, like he would walk me to each one of my classes into college. And, you know, some of my classmates in college would say, hey, your boyfriend's outside in the red car. And I'm like, that's not my boyfriend, that's my father. For a period of my life, I was dating women. I was married to a woman. And I think women are beautiful. All creatures are beautiful. Mm-hmm. But I had a boyfriend at a young age. And my father introduced me to the first female that I was with, who was over, you know, the legal age. She was 29 years old. And
at the time you were how old?
I was 16 years old. And he told this woman that I was, you know, sexually interested in her, which I was terrified because I had never been with anyone besides him. And a woman for that matter. I was scared, you know. And she was there when I came home from school in the buff waiting for me. And it's not like I could have told her, look, you don't understand the circumstances and the relationship between my father and I and what he has me do when no one's here. But I would love to tell you that I don't want to do this because of, but I couldn't because he was standing right there with a video camera. He recorded every sexual encounter I had up until I left his home. A lot of people don't understand my circumstance. The reason why it was up until 24 is because when I was 15, the 3 younger siblings came home. There was a set of twins and a 16-year-old. And one of them was a little girl. I have an elder sister who's 4 years older than me. She, to get away, she signed herself into the military. So that left me home as the only girl. And now a little girl comes home. Yeah. And I raised her from infancy to now she's 15 years old. So
it's your baby.
Yeah, she called me mommy. So I couldn't leave her there. I'd rather sacrifice myself and give him everything that he's been taking all along anyway, rather than him touch my sister.
Where did you sleep all this time, Queen?
I slept in his bed, in my father's bed.
From what age to what age?
The earliest I can remember had to be about 11, 12.
And did mom ever see you in the bed with dad?
Every morning. She'd come up every morning for money, for coffee and cigarettes. And she would mumble this statement, don't make me say what the F I think is really going on. And I just wanted her to. I wanted her to be able to, you know, advocate for me and stand up to this person.